Turn your mic on.
On.
On. Jody's on. I'm off.
What kind of an introduction was that? Hey, so I have a question. Did somebody take a piece of tape off the chair that was up here? That was my piece of tape. Where's my tape at? Good morning. I wanted to take a couple minutes and, number one, thank Brad for the opportunity to be able to come and talk this morning. I get a lot of questions from people, especially in Independence, as to why I'm here. So I wanted to take a couple minutes and give you an idea of my wife and I's journey coming to Independence and why we find ourselves where we find ourselves, to give you a little insight. And quite frankly, so I won't have to repeat it 20 times. Because everybody has the same question here in Kansas. Why in the world did you come to Kansas? Doesn't matter where you're from, why would you come here? Because there's nothing here. Kansas is a place you go from. It's not a place you come to, typically. So I wanted to give you just a little bit of a rundown on why we're here and what our purpose is, and then I believe I've got some things that the Father has given me over the last week, specifically for this body. So we moved here from North Carolina, Asheville, North Carolina, to be exact. My wife and I have been married soon to be 7 years, if I remember right, in October. Am I right on that? Is that what we said? Yes. Yes. So we came to Kansas on the word of the Lord. I don't know if you've ever had an experience where you've just heard God and you just knew that it didn't matter if it made sense or not. It didn't matter what the timing was. It didn't matter about the finances. So you just knew that you knew that you knew what you had just heard or what you had just seen or what you just had a dream about, you have to do. No excuse, no discussion, end of story. That's what happened. So 5 years ago, we began to start hearing the Lord speak to us about us moving and actually picking up all of our belongings and going. And God spoke to me specifically about a place called Independence. Now, when I first heard Independence, the first thing that came to my mind is, yeah, we're getting away, we're going to be independent, we're going to be autonomous, we're going to be energy neutral, we're going to grow food, we're going to, whatever it's going to be, we're going to be independent. That is not what he was talking about. He began to start speaking about location. Then I thought Independence, Missouri, that might be the place. And we actually stayed at a friend's house. This is Brendan, my friend from Ireland, which many of you have met, had a house in near Independence, Missouri. So we went there and stayed, but he was speaking specifically about Independence, Kansas. So we came here with no job, no house, very little money. We'd either sold or given away just about everything that we had in our possession. And we came not knowing what in the world are we going to do when we get here. But we did. So we had an intermediary stop where we stayed at Brendan's and lived at Brendan's house in Kansas City for a short period of time before we made the way down here. We came here and found a little farm. God made a miraculous series of events that we were actually able to get this farm, and we are now almost 5 years into being citizens of Montgomery County and Independence, Kansas. Amazing. If you would have told me 6 years ago we'd be doing this for 5 years, I would have called you crazy. And I may still call you crazy, but this has been quite an adventure for us. So what I want to make sure you understand what you're seeing today. This is not what I do. I'm not a professional at this. I'm not a teacher. I'm not going to teach you much today. I am most certainly not going to preach to you. That's not happening, because I don't do that. I'm not an evangelist. That's just not who I am. I am a regular dude who has worked all his life. I've owned companies. I've been an entrepreneur. I've been an inventor. I've done all kinds of things in the workplace. And I just happened to be somebody that God said, you know what? That knucklehead I think I can use. So that's who I am and what I'm about. But what you're seeing here today, in my mind, is a culmination of all of those years of why he called me and deposited me here. My whole life, I have lived having a knowledge of God. I've never not known a time that I didn't know him. I've never not known a time that I didn't see him. And I've never not known a time that I didn't hear him. I have walked my whole life from a child up until I turned 64 years of age just the other day. For 64 years, I have not ever not heard him. I have now learned that's weird. Most people don't hear him. Most people don't hear him much. Or most people hear him in other ways. I hear him like we're talking right now. I hear him primarily in two places. Two of his favorite places. One's mowing grass. He loves to chat while we're mowing grass. And I mow a lot. I love mowing grass. I would mow grass instead of eating. I love mowing grass. The other place that I hear him is in the shower. I know that's odd too, but he speaks to me in the shower. I have gotten revelation in the shower that has transformed companies, that have been products that were inventions that are now patented. I saw them in the shower. So God can speak in a lot of ways, and he does to a lot of people. But even though I'm here today because of an invitation, a very kind invitation, I'm here on an assignment. This is not a game. This is not practice. This is serious. I believe that I have something that I've got from the Father that is not for the city of Independence. It is not for the county of Montgomery. It is not for the state of Kansas. It is for the butts that are in the seats in this room right now. Listen, I have not slept in a week because of you people. I have been up, I have spent hours with the Lord because of you. Don't ask me why he's got you on his radar. I don't know. I'm asking that question. What is up with this bunch of knuckleheads that you have to keep me up all night praying and interceding and believing and trusting for heaven to come here? Heaven is going to come here in the midst of all of you, in spite of some of you. You guys in this building, in this church, in this town are on his radar. And he's serious. I have never sensed, nor have I ever known, his attention to any group of people like I have this one. Brad and I have had conversations for the last, 3 months about multiple things. And consistently in my heart, there has been a swirling, there has been a stirring related to the people that were here, the people that are here, and the people that are coming. Let me tell you something. Buckle up. Make sure you keep your arms and your legs inside the ride at all times, because you guys are just about to go on a ride. And it's going to be Holy Spirit instructed. It's going to be Holy Spirit designated. It's going to be Holy Spirit led. Hold on, because it's about to get real. He has looked for a place to deposit his Spirit in this community that will not just hear it, but do it. Hello, Tom. Did you not just say that? He's looking for some people that are going to do and that are going to believe what he says. He's found it. It's here. You are not here by accident. Today's your day. I'm putting you on notice and letting you know that heaven has singled out this place in my heart and in my mind to make the announcement that it's on. He's going to change. He's going to change the world because of what happens in this building. Hello? Did you hear me? He's going to change the world because of what happens in this building. Because there are hearts and people that have stayed. I met that gentleman right there the first week that I was at this church. We were having cookies in a little room in a church down in Coffeyville. And you know what he told me? I almost didn't even know what to say. He says to me, I'll tell you something right now. Ain't nobody running me out of my church. This is my church. And I ain't going nowhere. Did you or did you not tell me that? I left that building and thought he had mental illness. There is something wrong with that guy. You know what that was? That was Holy Spirit tenacity. That was that junkyard dog anointing. When you get a hold of something, you ain't going to let it go. Somebody jumps over the fence in the junkyard. Why do you think they got those dogs in there? Latch on. You latched on. You know why? Because there is an expectation in your heart. There is a hope in your heart. You will see all that you've dreamed. Guarantee it. I know that like I know my own shoe size. I'm a 10.5. You better hold on, big boy. I'm telling you. See what I mean? Did you see what he said right there? I'm ready. Why do you think God's breathing on this place? Because y'all sitting here ready. I can see it in you. I don't know how you're sitting down. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. I feel it, man. It's coming. The Father has got his finger here. He's going to do some things in this place. I had a company in North Carolina. When people would come into that company, the Spirit of God was so evident in that place. I had salespeople that came in to try to sell me cardboard, was on his face. In my engine room, we build engines and developed engines. He's crying. In my dyno room, my engine is there, we're working. He's trying to sell me cardboard. He's crying like a little girl. Like, dude, what are you doing? He said, I don't know, man. There's something in this place, something going on. He cried for 6 hours. I'd never seen anything like that. Like, what is happening around here? God told me, he said, I want you to put a disclaimer on your door when you go in your office. So I wrote a disclaimer, and I put it up next to my office, and it said, if you come in this place, you will hear things you've never heard before. You will see things you've never seen before. You will do things you've never done before. Welcome to my office. Because that's the disclaimer that I'm giving you today. Whatever your expectations are for what God's going to do here with us, I'm counting me in. Whatever you're expecting, trust me when I tell you, it ain't big enough. You better get your ducks in a row. Because I'm telling you, he's going to blow this place up like you've never seen. You're going to have people around here, you're not going to know what to do with them, how to deal with them, what they're going to do, what they're going to do next. It's going to be a surprise every time you come to church. Oh my goodness, what's the next thing? Who's the next guy that's going to be singing? What's he going to sing next? You're not even going to know what you're going to sing. You're going to come up here and go, I haven't got a freaking clue. You're probably going to play chords you never even knew existed. God's going to pull out stops here, you guys. I'm telling you. And I wouldn't be standing up here embarrassing myself if I didn't believe it. I'll tell you that right now. So I might be the only one in this building believing it. And you know what? I'm okay with that too, because it only takes the faith of one. Hello? I'll carry y'all through. Don't bother me. I'm up at night anyhow because of y'all. Somebody owes me some sleep. Somebody's all screwed up here, and I had to end up being up for hours praying about you guys. You guys got to get straightened out here. I'm sorry to be so loud. This stuff, this gets me lit because I love it when God does stuff. Love it. You better hang on, big boy. I'm going to get a seatbelt for that chair. The funniest thing that I deal with when I come to this church are those stinking name tags. I don't know what it is about those name tags. I can't. Do you see me wearing one? She gave me another one today. Every time she tries to give me, I say, wait a minute, I know what my name is. I don't need to be reminded. She gave me one today. I can't put the thing on. But I got to tell you a funny story that happened. This is the kind of stuff that happens to me. I had a doctor's appointment, and they have this online deal where you fill out all your paperwork online, so when you get to the doctor's office, you don't have to put all your insurance stuff in and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, well, I'm going to save some time. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I filled it out online, and I went down the form, and it got to a section that said pronouns. I'm like, what? It said pronouns, preferred names, or there's something else. Pronouns, preferred names, and something else. And I'm like, oh, this is good. So I thought, my preferred name, I'm going to put it in there. And I'm going to see what happens. So my preferred name is Handsome. That wasn't supposed to be funny. Tom is the only one that would laugh at that one because he hates me because I'm beautiful. Okay, that's the problem that Tom and I have. So I put Handsome. I put Handsome on the form. 2 days later, I get a phone call from the hospital. Hey, you got an appointment tomorrow? Yeah, I know. Well, we got your documentation. You're all signed in. All you need to do is come to the front desk. Okay, I know. She said, by the way, you filled out the section on your preferred pronouns and your preferred title, your preferred name. I said, yeah. She said, you wrote Handsome in there? I said, yes. She said, Jody, and I know the lady. She said, Jody, look, everybody that's related to the hospital network is going to see your information in the computer. And they are going to have to call you by your preferred pronoun or your preferred name that you have listed. I said, oh, that's fantastic. That couldn't be any better. She said, would you like me to change it? I said, not on your life. Don't you touch it, because I want to see what's going to happen. So the next day, I go to my doctor's appointment. I'm waiting in the waiting room. This is going to be great. I'm waiting in the waiting room, and the little gal comes out that's going to take me back to do your weight, your blood pressure, and all that stuff. I see her. She opens the door. She kind of puts her back up against the door. She has her paperwork clipboard in her hand, and she's getting ready to call my name. And she goes down the list and realizes that I have a preferred name. So in front of 25 people in the waiting room, she had to say, Handsome, it's your turn. And I'm like, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Glad to be here. I went. Every person that I talked to in that hospital on that day had to call me Handsome. It was awesome. If you get the chance to do it, fill that out on your form. They can have all the pronouns they want in this woke world. We get preferred names. I want to tell you what Impact Church's preferred name is. The Father told me. Blessed! Blessed! Blessed in the city. blessed in the community. Everywhere you go, you're going to be blessed. That's your preferred name. Don't let anyone or anything tell you otherwise. Don't let your bank account tell you. Don't let your neighbor tell you. Don't let your mother-in-law, who you didn't like her when you married your wife anyhow, don't let any of them tell you different. Because I'm here to tell you, I might be here by invitation, but I'm on assignment. And my assignment, part of it, is to make sure you understand who you are. And you are blessed in this region. And he is going to use a blessed group of people that will work together, that will love each other, that will honor each other, that will respect each other's giftings, that will listen to each other, that will be supportive when we fall down, that will lift each other up and hold each other up. He is going to use them and change the world. Now you can go, all right, Independence, Kansas, world. Let me tell you something. There is a little unit back there on that place where Laban sits. Laban, thank you for everything you do, by the way. That's one amazing man. If you ever get a chance to meet that dude and talk to that dude, he's amazing. He is amazing. That guy is so rich in talent. He has got some of the most amazing talent yet to be cultivated. How many of us got talent yet to be cultivated? Hello. That you're going to see amazing things. You're going to read things you can't even believe he would write. It's going to come from the pen of that man. I digress. There is a little unit back there on the left-hand side of that room that when you put the right code in and you hit the right button, it will put everything I'm saying live on the internet across the world. If you were in Dubai right now, you could log in and you would be able to hear exactly what I'm saying with a short time delay. We've never had that privilege ever as a humanity. We have it now. And I believe God is going to take a group of misfit toys, knuckleheads, goobers, don't know which end is up, can't hit our butt with both hands most of the time, struggling to make it day by day, trying to figure out who we are people. And he is going to use what he says to them and the example of how they interact with each other. He told us that they would know us by our love. We get the opportunity to be used of heaven in an hour where, if you've ever been in this world, if you're awake at all, you've got to know we're in trouble. You've got to know things are going south, right or wrong. Am I the only one? It's upside down. Things are going the wrong way. This is not what we had hoped. However, it is part of the plan. We know how it ends. But there's going to be a people that the Father's going to pull together. And he's going to bring together as a community, bring together as a family, bring together as a cooperative effort, and put them in a place so that all of those that are outside of that don't know what's happening, they don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, they're clueless as to how to react to what's going on, that there will be a group of people that will be so in tune with what's happening in the heavens. They'll be so in tune with what God's saying in the real time that they'll have some place for somebody that knows what the truth is. That's what I see is happening in this world, and I would say most of you agree. They don't know the truth. They believe a lie continually. They're lost because they don't know the truth. I had mentioned to Brad this morning, Pastor Brad, when I came in this morning, he said, you want to tell me what it is you're going to speak about? And I said, I would love to. But everything I've worked on for the last 10 days, he canned it this morning about 9:15 in the shower. So this is nothing I've rehearsed and nothing I've thought about and nothing I don't have any scriptures for you. Sorry. All I got is a mandate. And it's to come in here and to do two things. Number one, let you know what's coming. Okay? Good stuff. Is it going to be hard? Is it new things, right? New things. New wineskin. That's what we are. We're new wineskin here. He's going to put new wine in it. He's not going to put the old stuff in it. And you can't put new wine in an old wineskin. Why? Pow! The fermentation causes it to burst. So it takes a supple, new wineskin to be able to hold the new wine. That's what he's doing. He's bringing new wine. He's going to put it here. So he's going to make us new. But there's something else that I want to make sure that you understand. When I was talking to him this morning in the shower, he gave me some more insight. He said, Jody, I want you to know what you're walking into today. When you go into, I want you to know what you're walking into. Like, oh boy. He said, you're walking into a place that they struggle to hear. They don't hear well. I woke up this morning for the first time in 40 years with an earache. With a plugged ear. Guess what? I couldn't hear well. 40 years I have not had an earache until I come here to speak. And half of my hearing is now. I can't hear. I have it right now. It still hurts. It's still plugged. And what the Lord showed me was in the shower, that's been the way you all have had to listen here for a long time. But I got good news. That was then. This is now. There is going to be a spirit of clarity that is going to come to this church where you are going to hear what needs to be said. You're going to hear what needs to be done. You're going to hear what needs to be believed. Clear. You are not going to look at someone and say, you know what, I just don't hear like he does. I hear through the newspaper or something. And those days are over. We have a promise that we will hear him. Right or wrong, do we have a promise that we will hear him? Yes, he said, my sheep will hear my voice. Hello. We are going to hear him, and it's going to be accurate, and it's going to be clear, and that needs to be what comes out of your mouth. If I walk up to you this afternoon and said, have you heard God say anything? Your answer needs to be, I haven't heard yet, but I'm about to. That's the life that I live. That's the place that I live. That's the place that I believe God's going to take this body to. Because if we cannot have accurate, clear, concise hearing of the Father, understanding what the Holy Spirit is saying in the real time, knowing exactly what to do, when to do it, and how to do it with what we have coming, we're in trouble. Because we're going to be feeling around like everybody else is trying to feel around that's in the world because they don't know what's going on. We are going to know what's going on. We are going to understand where it fits in the Word, and we are going to understand how we walk and function through it, and we are going to understand, because we've heard, exactly how to help each other and to help those that don't yet know. You with me? That's what's happening. On top of that, what I believe God's going to do is he's been speaking to me, and I'm just trying to give you a preempt of what I've heard God say about this house. I believe he's going to turn this place into a location that will become known as turning out disciples that hear. We are going to raise up people, young, middle-aged, old, are going to come through these doors. They'll stay for a period of time, and then they will go. And the success that we take in the kingdom is not going to be about how many people we have in this room and did we have a successful church service on Sunday. It's going to be how many people are out in the field. How many people are out that have come through this place, that have heard and understood what the assignment was, and that they're out there and they're helping and doing what God would have us do in the real world. That's going to be part of it. I'm believing for finance to come into this house that's going to be unprecedented. You could say, oh, Jody, now are you doing the prosperity thing? Yes. 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 You're going to have more prosperity in your life you've ever known. Some of the toughest times that this country has ever had, you're going to prosper. Mark my word. I don't know you, but I'd like to tell you, I keep seeing diesel fuel every time I see you. Now, I don't know if you're a farmer, if you run equipment, if you have anything to do with diesel fuel, but I see diesel fuel. And the reason that I think it's significant is that you're going to have a transaction related to diesel fuel. You're going to get to buy it. You're going to get to sell it. You're going to get to transport it. You're going to get to something. Something related to that. And I've never met you. I don't know you from Adam's house cat. But there's something God's setting up for you, and it's going to be good. You're not going to expect it. You're going to scratch your head going, what in the world? How in the world? It's coming. You've been a faithful, faithful, faithful man. You have done what needs to be done when it needed to be done, and you have not discontinued. You have not looked up from the plow. I've seen you plowing the ground, and you have not looked up, and I'm assuring you, He is going to honor the dedication that you have shown to your family, to your community, to those that you care about. And I believe the legacy that you have going forward, I believe you care about your legacy going forward and those that you will one day leave here as you go on to be in glory. That's even a purpose in your heart, that you're making attention to detail even for those kinds of things. I don't know what the diesel fuel thing is. I've never heard that or seen that over anybody, but I'm telling you, I see it over you. And I've thought about you 25 times this week. Don't even know your name. All I know is I love your suspenders. If I'd have just read your name tag. I knew he would throw the name tag thing on me. I knew it. Somebody used it against me. I can't believe it. Well, I got mine on. It's on the bottom of my shoe. You have to watch me walk away to get my name. You're a blessed man. Blessed, blessed, blessed. I'm not going to keep you guys long. I'm not going to say a bunch of stuff just to fill up time, even though Tom took half of my time. On purpose. He did it on purpose. He was supposed to tell you to drink the cup and eat the wafer. He didn't do that. He preached for 25 minutes on my dime, on my time. Let me tell you something else is going to happen around here, big boys. We're going to laugh. There's going to be joy in the house. You feel that? Did you feel that? Did you feel that? Did you feel the Spirit of God breathe on that? There's going to be joy in this house. I don't know how much in the last 5 years of joy you've had, but what you've got coming and what I believe is starting as of today is going to be exponential compared to what you've known. You're going to have a hard time, guys, putting in perspective in your mind based on your past as to what's happening now and going on in the future. You're going to have a hard time referencing it. Don't try. Just go with it, right, Chris? Just go. Just do it, baby. Just go with it. Just go with it. The young lady from France, you're from France, right? I met you the day that you left here. I don't know if you remember that or not. You were standing here, they were praying for you, and I heard God say something. I have probably prayed for you 150 times since you've been gone. I'm not a big prayer warrior, okay? Don't think I'm something I'm not. I'm not. I was mowing the yard. I saw your face. All of a sudden, boom, I was with you in the heavens and like, okay, God, do what you got to do with her. And I've just been believing you were going to make it back. You were going to come back. Been praying for your safety, your travel. And I got word from someone a couple days ago that you might be going to a different college. You were going to transfer and go somewhere else or do something. And I have to tell you, I grieved on the inside of the potential loss of you in this body for this season. I think you're pivotal. I don't know if you are leaving, if you're going somewhere or whatever, but from what I can tell you is that you have such a place in what God's going to do here starting today. I can't explain it all, but I can tell you this much, it won't be the same without you. And I know this is probably going to sound really bizarre, but I saw you getting a scholarship, not from a school, but from a person. I saw someone stepping up and saying, finances might be an issue. You're going to choose some place to go because you play volleyball. Is that right? You're going to play volleyball. You get a chance to go. I saw someone step up to you and say, look, where do you want to be? Not where are you getting money to go. Where do you want to go? And they're going to write a check for you. I saw it. I could almost describe what they look like. So as you process your next months or moves, or if you're going to stay here and graduate, or I don't know. But I'm telling you, your future is going to be the most interesting future because God's going to do some things. And you need to get ready because you're going to go, what in the world is happening here? That's what it's going to seem like. It's just going to come out of left field. And I just hope that you remember the day that we spoke, that I spoke, and you remember today. So I walk in the prophetic. Okay, that's my thing. Some people play golf or whatever. The prophetic's my thing. So I love it, and I love to be able to hear what God has to say, and I love to be able to say it, and I'm not bashful about it because I've seen Him do so much. I've seen Him do amazing, crazy, insane things. I mean, the first time I met Chris, I think, was related to a prophetic word. I got a prophetic word from God about some dude, and we went to dinner at these people's house. I have this word with me. How weird is that? I'm carrying it with me, typed out, right? Typed. You ought to see me type. I'm horrible. But I typed it out, and I had it with me. Angela was with me. And we went to these people's house for dinner, and this knucklehead shows up and his lovely wife. I don't know who they are. I've never seen them before in my life. We hadn't moved here very long before that. He doesn't go to the church we went to. And God's like, hey, that word. Like, yeah. Well, he's here. Like, what do you mean he's here? It's him. I have it with me. I had it with me. Did that word mean anything to you when you got it? Do what? It's crazy. It was just, I have seen Him do so much of that. And I'm telling you, you guys are getting set up to not just me, you. Hey, this ain't, I hope nobody's misunderstanding. This ain't about me. This is about what Jesus is going to do with you. I'm just letting you know in advance. I'm just saying, hey, buckle up, Buttercup, because it's about to get real. It's coming. And so He might use me once every 6 months or something. That's fine. I don't care. I volunteer for everything for the Lord. Whatever. I got my hand up all the time. Ooh, 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 pick me. I'm like Horseshack. Remember Horseshack on Welcome Back Car? Ooh, 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 pick me, pick me. That's me. The Lord will say to me, you got your hand up. What do you want? I said, I'm in. I want in. I don't do anything without me. Don't leave me here. I'm going to be whatever it is you're doing. I want to be in on it. He's like, you don't even know what I need yet. So I don't care. I could care less what it is. Are you going, Father? Yeah, then I'm in. That's the life I live. Get ready for that because that's the way this body's going to function. We're going to be walking around volunteering. Oh, God, pick us. We'll do it. Just say, you know what I tell him? I said, Lord, I want to know him. Now you're getting me started. I want to know him to the point that, are we over on time? Do you know? What do we have till 2? Till 2. Okay, everybody's tight. So we I want to make sure I'm hearing this right. Silence is not a bad thing. Don't get intimidated. When you should be intimidated is when people won't shut up, when they won't stop talking. Sometimes we've got to be quiet to be able to hear. And my prayer is that he's speaking to you all. Not through me. Your ears in here. So one of the things I would like to be able to do, we're going to pray. And I'm going to pray for this body. And I've got some friends that will come and pray with you, and they're going to come up here with me, and we're going to pray for you individually. We have got to get ready for what God is going to do in this house. And step 1 is we got to have our ears and our eyes illuminated and opened so that we can hear what the Father has to say. We are going to ask him to do that. Now you can say, Jody, I hear just fine. Fine. Have at it. We'll be up here, and I'm going to be believing for those of us, hello, me included, that need to hear more. I want to hear better. I want to hear clearer. I want to hear earlier. I tell the Lord all the time, I said, Father, if I even catch wind that you're thinking about something, I'm going to do it. You don't have to say it. Now, don't tell me that doesn't. I said, Lord, would you show me what our relationship looks like? I know what it looks like from my side. What does our relationship look like from your side? He said, would you like to know that? I said, I would like to know that. Immediately, he takes me to this little movie. You ever get those little movies that the Holy Spirit does? He shows you these little visions, these little things, and you see this movie scene going on. He takes me to this movie scene, and it's this little old man. Had to have been nearly 100. Might have been me, I don't know, in the future. Had a little cane, walking. He's in an old house. He's walking through the foyer area, and he gets to the screen door. Remember the old screen doors? Slam, and they come back and slam. The old man takes his cane, he props it up there by the door, and he opens the screen door, and he goes out to sit on the front porch. Front porch is covered. Great big old farmhouse. Front porch is covered. His favorite chair is there. And in the afternoons, when the sun is around the other side of the house, the porch is shaded, and there's a breeze that comes up. And he's able to sit there in the breeze. Every day, that's what he does. Now, this is the movie God's showing me. So I said, Lord, who's the old dude? He said, that's you. I said, okay. So then I start hearing this noise, and I hear feet almost shuffling as they're coming through the house. And I see a little old lady, and she gets to the screen door, and she just puts her hand on the screen door to go out and join her husband, when all of a sudden, she doesn't open the screen door. She turns around and goes back into the house. I went, what was that? He said, just wait. 3 minutes later, she comes to the front door again with 2 glasses of iced tea, sweetened from the South. Sweet tea. You know what sweet tea is. 2 glasses of sweet tea. She takes her hip, opens the door, and takes 2 glasses of sweet tea out to the front porch. Guess what she does with one of them? She takes it to him. She goes over with hers and sits down. Never says a word. He never spoke to her. She never spoke to him. I have a question. How did she know that he wanted a glass of sweet tea on the porch on that breezy afternoon, sitting in the shade with her. How did she know? She knew him. He didn't have to say anything. She knew him. Woo! She knew him. That's what I want. I want to know what he's doing, because I'm going to go get the sweet tea, and I'm going to make sure that when he's ready to sit and he's ready to talk, so that we can chat. Because it's in his presence. It's in that place that I know him and he knows me, and I know how much sugar he likes in his sweet tea. That's where he shares those things that he doesn't tell anybody else. That's where the good stuff is, on the front porch. And sometimes not a word has to be said. He had a desire, and she knew him. That's going to be us. I'm telling you, it's going to be us. So here's what I would love to do. I want to take just a couple minutes. I just want to pray. God said his house was going to be a house of, hello, what do we do least than anything in this place? Pray. Nobody's fault. It's just life. Well, maybe that should change. You know something else that's got to change? I'm going to tell you this too. Back there is a thing, and somebody made it, and it's awesome. It says, take a prayer, leave a prayer. Take a prayer, leave a prayer. You know what that's going to say? Take a miracle, leave a miracle. That's what it's going to say. What I see as a vision, and I think, Gail, you had said something about this, about the deliverance ministry where you went. They papered the whole front of the sound booth with papers that were descriptions of people getting delivered, people getting set free, people having miracles, testimonies written. They wallpapered the front of the sound booth with it. What we're going to do is wallpaper the front of it with the miraculous that happened in our sight. You ever get all these people that have these miracles, but nobody really saw it happen? You like wonder, well, I had an ingrown toenail and it got healed. No. Different level, dudes. Different level. What we're talking about happening here, what God is going to do here as we move forward, what I really feel in my heart and inside, is that he's not going to hide what he's going to do here. We're not going to be a light under a bushel. He's going to work and do things here that will draw people unto him. They will go, look, I don't know what's going on over at that place, but we have got to go find out. Because something's happening. Because I know one guy that works there, and he's a knucklehead, but that guy is amazing with what God's done. And we're going to be able to tell, because we battle with our testimony. Part of what we get to battle with is the word, but also the word of our testimony, right? So we get to fight with the things that we've seen. Gail is a friend of mine. They're from Seattle area, Washington, right? Washington State. He was involved in deliverance ministry, him and his wife both. She's a worship leader, fabulous people. If you get a chance to hug their neck, and if you can get the $20 out of him that he owes me, I'd appreciate that too. He won't pay me my $20. But he has an insight related to the way God does deliverance and does the miraculous in the realm of deliverance. And if you ever get a chance to talk to him and get him to start telling some of the things that he's seen, not something he read in a book, not something that he thought about. You need me to get out of here? You need me off? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I believe what we're going to have happening here is going to be tangible evidence of the glory and the power of God in the heart of a city with a group of people that don't deserve it. We didn't do anything to earn it. We didn't, not because we're faithful and we prayed and we live righteously and all that. All that's great and need to. But that's not why he's doing it. So I'm going to leave you with this. He told me why he's doing it. Why is he choosing independence? Why is he choosing this church? Why is he choosing all of you that decided to come today and listen to me? Why? Why? One reason. Because he wants to. His good pleasure. He wants to. So guess what? When you get into God's want tos, hard to get out of them. So you're in. I'm here to tell you you're in. And buckle up.